For the last few months, we've been happy to welcome Bryan Beasley to the show. He has the Beasley Agency. They help, of course, with your insurance, and always he brings kind of a personal story to the topic. He wishes he was not bringing this personal story this morning, but listen up. He is back, and you have had a week. Your son was in a car accident recently. You were in a car accident recently. You got 2 cars you're having to replace. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, it makes me want to cry just thinking about it.
Well, I'm setting you up because I want to make sure we get everything in that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
But you kind of wanted to lead it off by saying.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. My son was in an accident. We bought his car a year ago. It was totaled. His car was totaled. There was like $14,000 worth of damage. So when I got the offer from the insurance company, it was about $4,000 than what we paid for the car a year ago.
Less than.
$4,000 less. So it's important for people out there to know that you don't have to take that offer. You need to do your research. I had already been looking. We were going to replace it with a light car. Mm-hmm. So I already knew what the value on the market was. The market's crazy right now. All insurance companies use a rating company that goes and evaluates that car within 150 miles. And for this particular car, they had to expand the search to 250 miles. They didn't know it was an all-wheel drive vehicle. So once I said no to that offer, mm-hmm. they went back and reevaluated and got it closer to what we paid for the car, got it closer to what we would have to replace the car for.
So you had shared with me that insurance company, I'm not going to say that on the air obviously, but that would be this ability to kind of contest the offer.
Yes.
It's true across the board.
Yes, yes.
Is it something that you would do, like if that happened to me?
Yes.
Would I do that on my own, or as my agent, would you do it?
I would, as your agent, I would encourage you to go back to the adjuster and have that conversation with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The adjuster sends you a piece of paper that you have to sign that says you're going to take that offer. Before you sign the offer, you need to talk to your agent. Your agent will help guide you through that process. And if, again, it's sad. My wife works at Blue Cross. Kind of happens the same thing on the health insurance side. If you don't know the process, mm-hmm. the coding, that you can get stuck in a hole,
right.
You have to do a little work on your side
right.
and understand what's happening
right.
in order to not just take whatever's coming at you.
Sure. So what happened to you, so that in your son's case, if it's okay for me to say, the person that was involved in that accident with him, I think, did not have insurance, correct?
They did have insurance. They left the scene of the crime. They failed to yield the right of way. They left the scene of the incident, and the police had to track them down in order for us to be able. But we filed the insurance through my insurance company. Okay. It's another important one, right? If you're involved in an accident where you're not sure who the other person's insurance is, you file through your agent, through your insurance company, mm-hmm. and that insurance company will subrogate. They'll act as your legal entity on your behalf, and they'll do the claim as if it's a claim for you. So in my case, for my son, it was an uninsured motorist claim until they found out who the person was.
Okay.
And then my insurance company went against that insurance company and communicated.
Is there a statute of limitations, if you will, on how long that can take? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, and they usually, like I was doing, I'm an insurance agent, right? I was hit Wednesday in my car, and I got a rental car Wednesday. But I jumped the gun a little bit, so I was paying for the rental car out of my own pocket until the claim caught up with it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense, because I was kind of going to go in that direction next.
Yeah.
So your accident was multiple cars involved.
Yes.
Some things happened. Bryan got out of the way, but then the person behind him hit him, and he was sandwiched in the middle. So of course you went to the hospital just to get checked out.
Yes. Yeah.
If you are in a situation like that, and there are medical bills that begin to mount. In your case, they weren't extensive, but they can become that way.
Yes, very quickly.
This might be a legal question, not an insurance question, but should you pay those, or should you wait?
Usually when you, like in my case, we went to Memorial North Park, and they asked the questions that led them to the place where the billing is going to be tagged, that this was an auto insurance
So it'll be contested
claim.
For a while, kind of.
Yeah, so they'll put it in the claims. Billing won't charge me anything, and they won't charge it back to my Blue Cross insurance. They'll wait until we send the accident report,
Right.
and they know where to bill it to.
So if you're thinking, gosh, who is this guy? He's Bryan Beasley with the Beasley Agency, and they handle all types of insurance. And you kind of a la carte it for people, right? You find the right insurance company for them for their individual need,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
don't represent one agency.
I represent one company, but there's additional companies inside that company,
Okay.
depending on what the situation is.
Okay. Well, to have had that happen to you in just a few days, you look really good, and you're still smiling.
Thanks.
So we owe you one. And on Mondays, we always do the dad joke of the week, right?
Yes.
So I'm not going to make you tell it.
Please don't.
Okay, but here's where you'll find Bryan. It's the Beasley Agency there in Dayton on Market Street. 428-9222 is the phone number. TheBeasleyAgency.com is the website. And he's always this laughy, gregarious guy. So we're going to get him smiling a little bit this morning because on Mondays we always do our dad joke of the week. So watch Bryan get a giggle, and y'all get a giggle too. Here's our friend Jason.
Your dad joke of the week, brought to you by West Yellowknife Trading Post.
Hi there, and welcome back to this week's installment of the Dad Joke of the Week. I got a call from a telemarketer trying to sell me a coffin. I told him that's the last thing I need. What do you call a group of whales on a TV show? A podcast. Thank you.
Jason, come on, that was bad, really bad. Who writes these for you anyway, Greg? Anyway, for something good though, come to West Yellowknife in Dalton. You better get it when you see it at the knife.